My first guest is Laura Plotkin, the Director of Education and Training at the Center for Safety and Change. Welcome, Laura.
Thank you.
So, Laura, delighted to have you here, and maybe you could tell our viewers a little bit about the Center for Safety and Change, how long you've been around, and a little bit about your core mission.
Great, yeah. So the Center for Safety and Change has been around for more than 35 years in Rockland County. We are currently the only victim service provider in Rockland, providing services to victims of domestic violence, sexual assault, human trafficking, and other crimes.
Right, and you're located here in Clarkstown, in New City?
That's correct.
Right. And you have a very extensive network of programs and services that involve a lot of work with the municipalities, with the towns, with the police departments, with other not-for-profits, and with the district attorney's office.
Yeah, we have a very close relationship working with other organizations. We have satellite offices in Haverstraw, in Suffern, in Spring Valley, and we work very closely with all of the courts, helping people get orders of protection and navigating through the court systems.
Right. So I know we're coming, this show will be airing in April. We're taping it just a little before then, but I know April is an important month. Maybe we could talk a little bit about what April marks, and some of the work that you're involved with.
Absolutely. So April is actually Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and so it's a time for us at the center to talk about and bring awareness to the issue of sexual assault. Because what we know is that about 1 in 5 women will be a victim of a rape or an attempted rape in her lifetime. So this is an incredibly important issue because it affects and touches so many people's lives.
It's really an incredible statistic, to think that 20%, it's really just a shocking statistic. What are some of the things that people can do to make themselves better prepared or more aware to defend themselves, to protect themselves against attempted assaults and things of that nature?
So I actually think one of the best ways and the only way that we're going to actually prevent sexual assault is by providing education. Mm-hmm. And so that's why we're really proud of the fact that we go into all of the public schools in Rockland County, and we're in all of the health classes there, and we give education and training to students about what healthy consent looks like. Mm-hmm. Because if you learn what healthy consent looks like, you're not going to take advantage or violate a partner in the future. And so for me, I think prevention is really the key to ending sexual assault. And we believe that the only way we're going to stop sexual assault from happening is talking to people when they're young about this.
Right. So typically what grades do you go in to speak to, and it's you're in all the different school districts?
We are, and we actually start in middle school, and we do a really interesting program around media literacy. And so we're talking about what are these images that you're seeing that normalize violence, specifically about women? How are these messages that we're getting leading to the belief that violence against women is normal, and if I see it, it becomes not such a big deal. Mm-hmm. Then we see students again in high schools, and we actually do a 3-day program. So we're in health classes doing dating violence education, sexual assault education, and talking about how gender stereotypes lead us to have certain beliefs about how we're supposed to act in relationships. Mm-hmm. And then we're also in colleges doing education there as well.
Great. And so maybe you could talk a little bit about that program that you're working in colleges now with this education program.
Absolutely. So we were very fortunate that 2 years ago, Governor Cuomo passed legislation called Enough is Enough. And what that mandated was that every college in the state, private and public, was to receive education and training for students. And so through Enough is Enough, we received a grant to hire a coordinator of campus services. Mm-hmm. And she actually goes into the colleges in Rockland, provides education around sexual assault, what consent is, what a healthy relationship is, as well as providing direct services to students who might be victimized by sexual assault. We talked about 1 in 5 women being victimized when we're on college campuses. Mm-hmm. That number actually drops to 1 in 4. Mm-hmm. So it's incredibly important that we're providing services right on campus for students.
That's great. And so this staff person actually goes into St. Thomas Aquinas and Nye College.
Yep. So we actually made an effort to go into all of the colleges in Rockland County, and we actually have formal partnerships with St. Thomas Aquinas, Dominican, and RCC.
Great. So maybe you could talk a little about some of the upcoming events that you have, around this important issue.
Absolutely. So what we try to do in April is to host events that bring awareness to the issue of sexual assault and sexual violence. On April 6th at Rockland Community College, we're actually hosting an event around child sex trafficking and the commercial exploitation of children. It's going to be a fantastic event. We're going to have a childhood sex trafficking survivor who's actually turned into an advocate and is now working to end child sex trafficking. It's going to be an amazing evening. It's at 6:30 at RCC. We're hosting a spin-a-thon that's actually sold out.
Wow.
So people are really excited to be involved. We're hosting a Dining Out for Change event April 24th through the 26th. You can check that out on our website, centerforsafetyandchange.org. And then finally, on April 27th, we're encouraging everyone to wear jeans that day. It's called Denim Day, and it stems from an assault in 1992 of a young woman in Italy. When her rapist was convicted, the conviction was actually overturned because the Supreme Court in Italy said that she could not have been sexually assaulted because her jeans were too tight, meaning that her rapist could not have taken those off without her consent. There was mass protest, and women in Italy started wearing jeans, and that actually spread to the United States. And so now on April 27th, we wear jeans, we wear denim on Denim Day as a protest against that ruling.
Wow, that's, I don't know what I'm more impressed with, the Denim Day or just how foolish a ruling by the Italian Supreme Court.
And unfortunately, we still have those attitudes and beliefs that someone could not be assaulted because of what they're wearing, or they are assaulted because of what they're wearing. Right. And so a lot of the education that we do in the community is to talk about victim blaming, and that it's never a victim's fault for being sexually assaulted.
Right. What's the single most important thing that you want to impart to our viewers as it relates to violence against women?
So I first want to say that, like I said, that violence is never a victim's fault. It's never your fault. It's always the fault of the perpetrator. And secondly, that there's help for you, that there are services, that we at the Center for Safety and Change provide free and confidential services to all victims of violence. And so they're not alone, and we will listen and we will believe them.
Great. And again, Laura, I want to thank you for being such a wonderful guest. My guest has been Laura Plotkin, the Director of Education and Training at the Center for Safety and Change. Maybe you could give the contact information for the center if people are interested in learning more, and how they might be able to support the center as well.
Sure. So our contact information, you can reach us on our 24-hour hotline. That's 845-634-3344. And you can reach us any time of day, any time of night. Our website, centerforsafetyandchange.org, or you can find us on social media as well.
Great. So, Laura, again, thank you for being a wonderful guest and sharing this important information. The Center for Safety and Change is really a key agency here within Rockland County, and we're delighted that it calls Clarkstown home with your headquarters right here in New City off of Johnson's Lane. But again, thank you for being here and sharing some very important information with our viewers.
Thanks for having me.
Coming up, our next guest will be Dan Zavola, Korean War veteran.